With this colder weather, we're probably gonna want some of the slim swims. Well, that smaller profile is gonna be really good. The darker colors, maybe a watermelon red up there as well. And then some of these minnow Z's, these smaller baits are gonna do really well today, I'm sure.
Yeah, oh yeah, slow moving baits, man.
So when we got to Sodium this morning, I knew I was on the hunt for some small baits. Really subtle, quiet. When it lands really soft, and when you bring it by them, it's not a lot of vibration. So I was going with little tiny baits, and that was a big key to get most of our bites today. Now, how far out do we need to cast?
You really want to lead the fish by, I don't know, 10 or so feet. You can leave your bait lay right on the bottom and let him swim to it. But if you definitely want to lead them because you don't want to spook them. So try not to throw right on their top of their heads. You could cast past them and bring it right back to them.
Gotcha, we'll do it.
You see that push right there, Seabass? He's going to your left. It's a light push. Just stay ready. He's right out in front of us. He flashed on it, he just didn't get it. That fish was just really bright colored. You'll see the difference in the colors of fish, and he was one of those fish that looks like he's gonna eat. Those ones that are real dark, just sitting there, he was cruising and looking, and he smoked that Ned rig.
Man, I watched him zoom in on that one. That was awesome.
That's not a huge one, but it's a good sign that that fish was starting to feed. He was really lit up and he was cruising. You'll see, like, that's what you want to look for in those fish. Those fish that are just sitting there, you'll get them to eat every now and again, but those fish that are moving around a little bit and not spooked and feeding, you get one in front of those and they'll eat it about every time.
That's for sure, man. Yeah, that was awesome seeing that fish dart out from that point, taking that bait.
Right now we're on this negative tide, and as the tide gets up just a touch, not much because you still want to be able to see them, but just enough to kind of give them a little bit more comfort. They start to feed a little bit more, not be quite as spooky, but I mean, I'm barely pushing and they're hearing us, and there's not much you could do about that. You just gotta wait them out and wait for that magic hour to turn on and they'll start biting.
It's like a dang trout sickle.
Like a trout.
It's a nice little surprise, Brandon.
Absolutely.
Out here red fishing and getting into the trout this close to the mangroves.
Never know this time of year when it's this cold, those trout move way back in here looking for that warmer water, just like the redfish do.
It's awesome, man.
So with the slow morning we were having this morning, I knew we had to make a change. So we made about a 45 to an hour run up to the north into some tight creeks, fishing some oyster bars where I knew there was going to be a lot of fish. I didn't know the size, but I knew we were going to go catch fish. And when we got there, it was game on.
Work it. Got him. It's a decent one, Bass.
So the tide's come up now, and we made a run way back in these creeks here and fishing these oyster bars, and it's paid off already. Oh yeah, for sure. That was what, second cast? Second cast, and we doubled up. I know you had one on, and this guy was following that. He turned off, so that's awesome. It's a great call, making that big run, Brandon. It's already paid off. Nice fish. See a couple more up here too, so hopefully we can make something happen. As soon as we get to this creek, the tide and all had changed for us. Now it's an incoming tide, and now these fish are just fired up. So the quantity had changed. We're catching more fish. It was cast after cast. Brandon hooked up 4 times in a row. I hooked up 3 times in a row. It was a really big change in the amount of fish that we were catching, and it was interesting to see how the further back we went in these creeks, the more fish we would catch. So it was awesome.
I wouldn't be surprised if we find a couple more big ones in these holes. Oop, there we go. Nice one. There's a bunch of fish right here on the edge of this bar. It's almost every single cast right now. And they seem to be getting bigger and bigger. It never gets old catching them almost every cast. This little Ned rig, when it gets cold, is on fire.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Nice.
It's a pretty fish.
25, 26 incher. So after catching a ton of fish, I really wanted to get sea bass on one more nice fish. So I pushed us further in the marsh, almost to the back. I saw some really good wakes. Sea bass made a perfect cast, and it was game on from there. Nice fish.
That was
sick
awesome,
eat too.
dude.
He put a big wake up, smoked it. I'm gonna
Saw
step
that.
down and help you land him.
Yeah. Dude, that was awesome. What a way to end the day.
It's been a great day of fishing, and
I saw him come up behind it, and I saw that boil, and as soon as I saw that, you said set it, man. That was perfect.
nice fish too. Come here, boy. About as far back in here as we can get. Fatty too, look how fat that fish is. What a way to end it right there. Say we head back to the seafood cellar and get us some crawfish after that
dude,
one.
That sounds killer. So overall today, it was a phenomenal day. I had a lot of fun out there with Brandon. It's always fun to get out there with him and fish these redfish in extremely shallow water. And it's extremely fun for us to make these videos for you guys too. So I hope you guys have really liked the content, and we'll have a lot more coming in 2022, so make sure to stay tuned.